Hello. Let's talk about nettles. This, for instance, is a bottle, there we are, a bottle of nettle beer. Yeah, it really is made out of nettles. And in the spring, I go out into the hedgerows near the stables where there are banks of nettles, and I collect them in big bags and I dry them, and then I give some to my horse and take some home. I don't make beer of them. They cook up like spinach, but with more flavour. Really nice. Of course, if you're going to follow my example, I just want to warn you not to harvest nettles from anywhere which could have been contaminated by weed killing sprays or artificial fertilisers, that sort of thing. Now, I'm talking about nettles. That sound, by the way, that's the dog chewing a bone. I'm talking about nettles because although you have to be careful around them, they are medicinal as well as nutritive. I think that's the right word. That is, provided you dry them first to neutralise the sting, although the sting is useful too. Apparently stinging an arthritic joint does it good. And I understand that American Indians used to whip themselves with nettles, you know, sort of over their shoulders to keep themselves awake during long hunting trips. Nettles are considered weeds by people who don't know how to handle them, who have no place for them among the well-manicured beds of petunias and geraniums. And we could draw a moral from that in the case of Julian Assange and even Tommy Robinson and others like Count Dankula and possibly Sargon. Maybe even Paul Joseph Watson. First, though, I want to clear something up. According to this 2010 Reuters report, the rape charge constantly referred to with such relish by the MSM is actually a complaint by two women who said they'd contracted an STD from Assange during consensual sex. And we're reporting that because it's a notifiable illness. And then Assange was out of communication for a while, so that's why the warrant went out for him. I don't intend to discuss that case. I just wanted to make it clear that the one thing that has undercut Assange's credit with the left doesn't appear to be anything to do with rape, not so far as that has given out anyway. Now, very nice, you know. The second thing I want to tell you about is the constant references from American politicians that Assange has endangered American lives. And I shall quote, well, I shall talk about Edward Snowden, who gave an interview, which I found on the Activism Munich channel, link in the description, in which he says that WikiLeaks sent material to the US government before it was published by them, which would have given ample opportunity for the government to respond and request redaction in cases where things might be dangerous, where revelations might put somebody's life in danger. So again, that seems to have been dealt with, and I believe Snowden. No, don't hit the keyboard. So now I want to tell you about one instance of a Wikipedia leak as an illustration of what Wikipedia do. This is a still photograph of an attack made on civilians in Baghdad. Just by the way, please note that the Reuters headline has it that it's a 2007 attack by Apache helicopters. It wasn't an attack by Apache helicopters. It was an attack by American soldiers from an Apache helicopter, or maybe more than one. Apache helicopter, whatever. The flying machines themselves are not guilty, and I beg you to pay attention to the weasel words of all too many reports who try to avoid saying the unsayable. Knife attack, vehicle attack, gun attack, so on. Just remember that next time you see it. Anyway, back to those rogue Apache helicopters which attacked some people. I don't know how guilty or innocent those people on the ground were supposed to be, but two of them were Reuters news staff and very much and provably non-combatants. This is what the Reuters report says. The transmissions are audible in the video. The soldiers zero in on a group of men walking down the street. They believe Noor-Eldeen's camera is a gun. They open fire. Now, so far as I see that, I understand it. That is, it's the sort of mistake that happens frequently in the fog of war. And although it may be a nasty incident, indeed it is a nasty incident, I don't suppose you could really say it was deliberately malicious. However, it does go off the rails from then on. Saeed survives the original attack, but is wounded and can be seen trying to crawl onto a curb to escape. Then there's this. A minivan with two children in the front seat pulls up to try to help. The helicopter shoots at the minivan. This is a transcript of the transmission. "Oh yeah, look at that," a man on the radio exclaims after they get a better look at the minivan. "Right through the windshield." I can excuse the soldiers for shooting at people they think might be about to shoot at them, if they really did mistake Eldeen's camera for a gun. But to shoot at an obviously non-combatant minivan, even if they think that Saeed was an enemy combatant trying to get shelter in there, but especially a vehicle with children inside it, I'm sure that was a war crime. And without WikiLeaks, it would have remained forever out of the public domain. Reuters continues, "A fair number of Americans are upset about the disclosures. Members of Congress have called for the prosecution of Assange." Amid attempts by the US state to try to slap an espionage charge on Assange, the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press got this quote from a University of Chicago law professor. "Throughout American history, our government has excessively restricted public discourse in the name of national security." And he continues to say that prosecuting journalists under the Espionage Act would violate the First Amendment. And he describes such cases as hysterical responses which override good judgment and an essential commitment to liberty and democratic self-governance. And that's the important words there. That bit about democratic self-governance is supreme, because you can't govern yourself unless you know the facts. And governments keep the facts from us and then lead us like children by the hand because we don't know the way. And if only for this, for the revelations of this, we have to consider that Assange is an essential aspect of society. Assange may be an objectionable troublemaker. He may be egocentric. He may be an awkward bugger, but like the stinging nettle, he's important and medicinal and keeps us awake, like Tommy Robinson and Count Dankula, and for similar reasons. The problem is that governments have, over the years, got used to the fact that they control the petunias and the geraniums and the neatly clipped box hedges in the well-ordered garden of government, and they don't know how to handle the nettle patch except for taking a scythe to it. As Snowden has said, governments don't keep secrets for the common good, they keep secrets to prolong their hold on the levers of power. However, with modern technology, suddenly that game has changed. Now, China's answer is to shut down any sort of discussion at all. Russia and Saudi Arabia have taken the route of assassination or kidnap. America and Britain are using the entire weight of government to flatten whistleblowers, while the EU isn't even pretending. It just ignores everything and carries on regardless. It's our job out here to protect those nettle patches and to learn how to use them, and to insist that our government learns how to use them, if for no other reason than that nettles are more useful and, I might say, more delicious than petunias. Ah, get away. Ah, yeah. This one is for you, Assange. I wish you well. I hope my bloody government doesn't make mincemeat of you. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe, and if you wish to donate, click the subscribe star link where you can make a one-off payment or set up a regular contribution, or I have a PayPal account at grannyopteryx@gmail.com. Till next time.